can hear me. Live from Los Angeles, welcome to Good Morning LaLaLand. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessica Moyer. This is Good Morning LaLaLand, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live at 9 on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, Monday through Friday.
Right, and today's all about Thursday thoughts, and I'm so excited because we're going to talk mindset for the first ever woman on $1 Million Listing and another woman's platform, an inspirational platform.
Thursday thoughts. We have two very exciting guests in the studio today. I would really like to welcome Ms. Tracy Tudor-Maltas. As Erin mentioned, she is the first woman.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We are so excited to have you here. And good morning, Allie, former USA creator.
I love Tracy's dress.
So,
I know, right? Thank you.
So on point. So,
This morning started at about 5:30, and I didn't obviously get to bed last night until later than I wanted, so it was a little rough. It was 2 cups of coffee, a little bit of hair and makeup, and a green smoothie on the way here. But normally I've got the kids in the house and we're getting them off to school, but we're on spring break right now, so they actually slept in.
oh, hashtag jealous.
I know.
Yeah, a little bit.
Allie, what's your typical morning like?
You know, I really have tried to hack my morning routine. It's very, very difficult. I do about a 10-minute meditation, and then I work, getting them off to school, and then my day starts after my last drop off at about 9.
Wow, your days start at 5 a.m. and you look amazing.
It's the only way to get it done.
What's your secret?
Discipline, I guess, you know, create the life that I envision. And it has to start at 5.
No options there.
No, I'm so incredibly inspired by the women that are part of the Focus TV family in this community here, because they are truly so disciplined. It really makes me raise the bar on my self-care, because really we have to take care of ourselves in order for us to better take care of our community and live the examples, right? Especially to your children.
Yes, of course. I mean, your job is so demanding as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling like I'm not getting enough done after she's talking before 7. But yeah, I mean, my job, you know, get as much done in the morning as possible. Like, it's a lot, and you have to be really scheduled.
I have a calendar. I've tried to put everything on all my devices, and I'm like, why is it? We're so excited to get to talk to you both later more in the show.
Inspired.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow, some power in the house.
They accomplish more at 7 a.m. than most people accomplish all day, right? It's amazing.
Right? So good.
It really is. We have a very exciting announcement here at Focus TV. We have, hot off the press, the latest issue of the LA Home magazine. Miller. I'd love to give him a little shout out here. It's really an incredible publication.
It's really gorgeous.
Erwin Miller right here.
Yay! So excited to be involved with all the different industries, and I think it's cool that we are not just so happy to be tapping into real estate and the chef world and all different things. It's all together.
It's all about the lifestyle of Los Angeles. In this magazine, we have a very special shout out to Allie Willis. She's created a one-of-kind shrine to her Motown roots. Also, fashion photographer and former model Paris Helena offers a glimpse into her photography. And home is where the art is, of course. The curator of the Mocha, Ms. Rebecca Madelon, has been featured in this issue as well.
Nice.
Life goals.
Get you happy today.
Life goals, career goals, money goals.
It's all the above.
Right? I sometimes revisit the idea of creating a vision board, but it's like already created for me right here.
No, we do have an incredible robust content library of video content surrounded by these features. We've got a brand new show here at the Focus TV network called the LA Home Show, featuring some of the most iconic homes in Los Angeles and the designers who have created them.
So excited to watch that and get involved.
Absolutely. Let's take a look.
Is so different from all the other brokerage.
To me, it seemed anachronistic to encourage agents to now go be their own thing, an individual.
We also speak with Marissa Zanuck, who started the Zanuck Group, and she did
that. You need to put your time in. You need to do, you know, the dirty work. You need to learn all aspects of the business.
and my 3 favorite finds in the LA market today. And that's all starting now on the LA Home Show on Focus TV.
TV network, and LA Home is now one of my favorites because here on Good Morning LaLaLand, we often talk about manifesting vision boards. As you are quite a real estate mogul yourself, so I'm really looking forward to exploring more of that.
Great. Well, let's take a little break. When we come back, we're going to actually talk about how to stay mindful in the middle of the chaos of all these traffic homes and all this good stuff in Los Angeles, no matter where you are in the world. We're a global community, but stay tuned. We're going to talk about mindfulness today, right now, right here. Stay tuned.
LALAND with our associate producer, Ms. Victoria Simone, and we're here to tell you all about it. On Monday, we welcomed Robbie Hayes to the studio. You've seen him on The Bachelorette, and he has a new company, Leisureletics.
What?
Hot. Tuesday, we welcomed Sean Kushner, aka Kush.
Namaste all day. Thanks for tuning in to This Week in LaLaLand. I'm Victoria Simone. Jez. Bye.
It's going to be a good morning, LaLaLand.
Out.
Jez Moya, co-host of Good Morning LaLaLand.
So last week on the Focus TV network, we shot Reshape with Ali Landry.
And special guest, Ross Matthews.
We had the Alyssa Goodman show.
With the original Iron Chef herself, Kat Cora.
What? I'm so excited to announce our newest show, The Lisa Torres Show, Jeslyn, who was on Good Morning LaLaLand.
We had a great week in Sassoon, beauty and wellness advocate.
Can I say triple hot? Thank you guys for tuning in to This Week in Focus. Jez, thanks for helping me out. Bye.
Hang on.
That's all we could say with all the freaking lists that you gave me. Soul Reboot with Allison Charles. And I was supposed to say Ross Matthews. Fuck, I forgot. Jeslyn's so mad at me now.
No, I don't care.
Russian Catherine.
Trust, then verify.
Yes. You keep doing that. The Lisa Torres Show with, do I say Lisa Torres? No. Okay.
Awkward, okay. That is definitely not going in the blooper roll. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLaLand. We are honoring #Thought Thursday. Today we have two very special guests in the house. Is Tracy Maltis, one of the most influential entrepreneur, creator of the Reshape line. I'm wondering today, what do you do to stay mindful, to stay balanced amidst all the chaos?
Well, I think meditation is something that I recently introduced to my daily routine, and it's really, in the morning, especially by starting out with gratitude, thinking what things am I grateful for, kind of starting out with that mindset, the meditating, some deep breathing. Also, some people think it's a little hokey, but I do, there's so many studies and scientific backing on, walking outside, taking your shoes off, getting grounded kind of before you start your day. Those are things that really have helped me be very mindful.
I think I'm going to send all my clients.
Google Reshape.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do this.
You'll be set.
Except for this morning, unfortunately. But I have to take an hour for just myself before the kids get up to just get that energy out there and get focused. And generally when I'm done with that, I can sit down, have a cup of coffee and start thinking about, my day and work and kids and all of it. But that's how I get centered. It's just, mine's a little simpler.
If you're ever in a fog or in a funk, how do you transform your mindset so you actually do that? Is there something you tell yourself or something you do that keeps you motivated?
It really is, like you said, it's a mindset.
Yeah.
And I do get in those funks often, but it's just, realizing, again, that going back to just, and keeping your mind really focused on that, and then it's sort of hard to it's easier to get out of those funks.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the things I'm grateful for, like my family and my friends, and that.
Real estate isn't brand structure. I bet there are times when it has to feel that way.
Yeah.
It has to feel that way.
Yeah.
People like to this morning. We're excited to talk to you more later in the show.
Wow, that's great. I usually just turn to my Don't Kill Yourself books. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to pick up somebody who's smarter, who's happier than me, and I need to read them. And I need to take on their thoughts.
And what's great about Rob is then he passes those books on to me.
I do.
He came in on Monday. Really, speaking of a channel,
Yeah.
we have a very big announcement here at Focus TV and Good Morning LaLaLand. We are now being featured on the Connect TV. He is connecting, and Kent Speakman is changing the world through media. Let's take a look.
We are a television network focused on social good. On Connect TV, you'll find everything from health and wellness to philanthropy, on making your life better. And we are very excited to announce that we are going to be bringing Good Morning La La Land to Connect TV, and you can check it out on
Nice.
What an honor.
I just love Kent.
Yeah, I'm so excited also because I think they're really out in the field a lot. They showcase a lot of the events and all the positivity and of course Hollywood and dreams coming true. And so I think it's a really great marriage because we're obviously in studio.
Can't find us or see us
Right?
and watch us.
We're gonna hunt you down.
Literally.
We're in your device.
As well as the magazines, and now with a platform like Connect TV, we can really get our positive programming message out there.
Right.
So incredible.
So speaking of Thought Thursday, let's get into this a little bit. So the topic today is how to stay mindful in the midst of chaos, negativity, and fake news. And so no better place than to discuss this right now over coffee with us. So let's talk about mindfulness. What is mindfulness? So you want to define that for us?
Wow, it's a big topic. I would say that mindfulness is being in the moment and not in your head.
Great definition,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, you know, obviously I have a book, and so I thought, well, why don't I just pull from my own books? We always pull like different articles, we want to refer to things, but I was like, well, let's just, you know, why not?
Yeah.
So, you know, I just think that absolutely, number one thing about being mindful is staying present. So, you know, today we're inviting you to take, stay neutral. I think one of the first things is how do you stay present? How do you not go to the future? That you are not your emotions, you know. Getting stressed out is really when you put a negative assignment onto a thought. So stay neutral. How do you stay neutral, right? Just knowing and becoming conscious of going, I can either put a positive meaning on this or a negative meaning, and regardless, I'm going to feel the effects of that immediately, right? So not always easy, but
you could also let it be without meaning, completely without meaning. And when in doubt, I quote Oprah or Ali Landry, and I love she said, you know, get grounded, and that's so true. A really important piece of being mindful is being fully engaged in your five senses. So if you're fully engaged in the experience you're receiving through your five senses, your mind will go quiet on its own.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And sometimes people go, how can I if my boss is being a jerk, or, you know,
My kids are driving me nuts.
the chaos that they're creating with the fake news, with whatever. Just become fascinated. Be like, wow, that's really interesting. So if I ever say that, I've ever
The community too, when statistical results are somewhat significant. So it's a very useful and interesting term.
You know, one of the most important things about being mindful, to really take a moment to look at things like your childhood or your past relationships and recognize the lessons out there. We're supposed to reflect upon our childhood today. This will lead you to feel more self-aware as we begin to uncover our truths.
Wow, look at that.
My truth right now is I love Good Morning LaLaLand and Focus TV.
Right,
So
that's right.
That's what I've got.
And then finally, I would say one of the greatest things, I think Rob preaches this a lot, is non-attachment. You know, I get so caught up in where it's going, or what's the identity around this, or what's the status, or what's the, you know, and just letting that go. And be
I don't want to sound morbid, but the idea is that, you know, everything here is on loan to us.
So
So enjoy it while you had it.
You're going to die anyway, so, you know, just forget about it.
Or you're going to live forever anyway.
That's
there are
right.
two ways of looking at
Yes,
that.
you are an eternal spiritual being. That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, a special shout out than you could hope or plan for yourself. So even if you don't have clarity in that, if you're present and you're fascinated and you're mindful, amazing things that could happen that are beyond your imagination.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's so true, Jez. And I think often about, you know, the focus with law of attraction or mindfulness is often about like thinking in the right way or not thinking at all. And I think about how much of my life I've spent not doing it the right way, and yet how beautiful my life has continued to turn out. And I think for me, that's deeply confirming that there's this stream of well-being that's always looking out for me. There's some positive life force that's always looking out for me. Doesn't mean I don't get sick, doesn't mean I don't have tough times, but generally speaking, if the most critical functions of life were left up to me, I'd be screwed.
Absolutely.
If you had to remember to breathe, oh my God, dead right away. I mean, if you had to remember to, like, you know, simple things.
Amazing insight from these badass women in the back studio. So I say we take a little break, and when we come back, dive into their consciousness, how they're mindful.
Hello, Los Angeles. I am your host and producer, Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Paprath.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the globe.
Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer.
And we're making history as the first live streaming daily talk show.
This is where all kinds of shit happens.
Monday through Friday, we are going to be streaming to you live, Los Angeles, at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Alyssa Goodman Show. So Kelly, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Alyssa. This is so fun.
I know.
What's up, Rose girls? I'm Jessica Carroll. Today we're gonna have so much fun because we have fitness personality Katie Austin.
Hey,
we're
thanks for
having
having me on.
with
Cheers.
Katie Austin.
I love it. It
Cheers.
feels like a Saturday.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest. In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. I mean, no big deal, but huge. Hi.
Thank you. Hi.
Are we so excited right now?
We are so excited.
I mean,
Thank
we
you for
have
having me.
roses, we have perfect lighting, we've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hey, Dr. Erin here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth, having a conscious conversation in the heart of Hollywood. And I'm honored to have the guest today, who is Christina Pascucci, who is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's an honor to be here with you. I so appreciate it.
Today on Moms Matter, we're going to talk about money, 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 something that we all struggle with and we need help with, and that's why we have the fabulous Winnie Sun, who's here with us today.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you've been on MSNBC and Forbes, and you are the money expert.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a new magical episode of Soul Reboot. I am your host, Allison Charles. Please welcome and meet this powerful divine queen whose name is Daphne Wayans. I am so happy to be here with you.
I'm so honored to be here.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLaLand. We are so excited to welcome Tracy Tudor Maltas as seen on Bravo's $1 Million Listing. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning. Good morning, Tracy.
Guys.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
coming
for having
in.
me.
Killing that dress right
Love
now.
your
Thank
outfit.
you. Goodness.
As one of Hollywood's most influential and powerful real estate agents, how do you navigate that? How did you get to that point?
15 years of really hard work.
Really? I mean, real estate was in your blood.
Yeah, my family, between the interior designer, my sisters are both interior designers. My dad is a contractor for public works. My husband, or soon-to-be ex-husband, is a builder in the residential field. So, yeah, I've been surrounded by it since I was a little girl.
What do you love about it?
I like the kill. I like the I like to win. So like there's that exciting moment where you're back and forth in a negotiation, and when you win that for that client, it's always really exciting.
I mean, it is a really cutthroat, highly competitive industry, especially here in Los Angeles.
Right. Yeah, it's dog eat dog out there.
So you
it really is.
you teed it up like at the perfect time in history. We've got all this women empowerment, Time's Up movement, all that, and you were already in this before, right? It's like you couldn't be teed up better. What do you think about this whole movement?
I mean, I think it's a really exciting time. And even when the show was in Miami, there was a female on it for a season. But it was perfect timing. And so I'm grateful that I have that. And I'm grateful for the opportunity. But, you know, I also think it is Time's Up. And I think it's about damn time that in season 10 of $1 Million Listing Los Angeles, they finally put a woman there, because we represent more than 60% of the field. Yeah.
Whereas if a woman was, she'd be considered a B. what do you think about that? Do you think it's changing? Do you feel like?
I mean, you know, it's funny. Social media, when I first started watching the season, you know, I was like this. There was a lot of that. You know, people thought I was coming off bitchy, and I sort of defend myself because I'm not a bitch. I'm just good at what I do, and I'm confident, and I like to give the boys a little bit of their own shit back.
Well, how are they going to compete with that? How are they compete with all this, right?
I mean, come on. It's about time that we are allowed to have a voice, be empowered, speak our mind without being considered a B. You know.
And having that voice now, what do you want your message to be to the people who will love you, the people who seek you for inspiration?
I mean, I have a lot of women that have, you know, started following the show because of me, and I think I represent a woman that sort of speaks up for herself, and I think that speaks to a lot of young women and even older women, moms, women that want to go back to work after having babies and are, you know, nervous about that. That's who I want to talk to, and that's what I think is exciting, and you know, hopefully I can be an inspiration to some of them.
You definitely are.
Yeah.
Were you always like this, or is this something that you've had to cultivate over the years?
Well,
always strong and
I've always been a little bit of a hustler.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just in my blood from an early age. But yeah, I've always spoken mind, you know, since I can remember. And my parents have always
so competitive that I had to like learn to temper that. You know,
Yeah.
there's a fire that always rages inside me, and I wonder, for me, that was a challenge because I had to find context where I had to turn off that. I got to turn it off because it's just too much.
Growing up, where I was super competitive, and I mean, get me in a card game.
Oh, I want you on my team, but
my girlfriends have been like, you made me cry. I mean, this is a skip-bo.
Skip-bo.
I just reel it back. But no, I am competitive, and I do need to at times, you know, curb that a little bit, just to. You know, I think in life in general, there's a time and place for everything. You know,
just mostly I found for me I was sometimes exhausted from it because you know you're always I was always go.
Right.
And that's of course what's gotten you where you are.
Yeah.
And we love that about you. For me, I had my own problems, but yeah.
So I think you got to check out a little bit too. You know, I mean, there's a time to be competitive and be like in that game, and then there's times where you just need to check out and like take a beat.
Yeah,
you know?
take a nap even.
Yeah.
So do you think that there's anything that the world does not know? Like if they're like, okay, tell us a secret the world has not seen on the show or whatever. Is there something about you that you're like, they probably don't know this?
I mean, I am really pretty much who I am on the show. At home, there isn't really a whole lot of me that you don't see. I mean, the one thing I did when I signed up to do this was I said I'm going to be authentic, and I'm going to be as authentic as I possibly can be because I'm not in this to be anything else other than myself. So that's how it's. You know, I think I was intimidated by the process when it first started, and so there was a part of me that, you know, was holding back a little bit, and, you know, I'm on a show with some very, very successful men, and that was intimidating, but I found that, you know, the more authentic I could be and the more myself, because in my real life, that's, you know, I am confident and I feel good about who I am and where I am in my life, and I just needed to kind of completely let that happen on the show in order for me to do that, and that's, I think, the biggest lesson, you know.
So true. So what advice would you give women out there? I remember I have a 22-year-old son, and I remember I was very career-driven also. Yeah.
I know.
And so I remember it was like hard. I think there's a lot of moms out there that go, well, you should just put your, you know, child as the only thing, and it was almost looked down upon at some times in my life. What advice would you give to other women out there? Because not everyone's just meant to be a mom that's just a mom. You know, we have desires, we have passions, we have career and all that. What advice would you give them?
I mean, I give it every day. I mean, I try to direct message like people and fans back and women that are reaching out to me. And I don't think that, you know, you need to sit home, and I think it's probably the most important job that any woman has as a parent.
Totally.
And be more than just that. And it just requires a little bit of, you know, balls.
Letting the guilt go too, right?
Yeah,
the guilt sets in sometimes.
No, yeah, the guilt is, I think guilt is a little bit of a wasted emotion. You know, creeps in sometimes. That guilty Gary comes knocking. And you're like, but you know what? You just have to really put that away and, you know, remind yourself that, you know, you're more than just one thing, and you can be whatever you want to be.
For sure.
And now that you are just killing it in the real estate industry, there's so much happening in LA that, you know, exciting things that you're a part of. What can you tell us about the scope of real estate right now?
Well, there's a lot going on, particularly in Los Angeles. You know, vertical here. So to see the landscape changing the way it has, I'm on a development right now that at the end of last season, I was awarded a really high-end development, and it's been really exciting to work on that. And you know, we're selling out really, really fast, which I think is something very new for the LA market. And you know, we've got the 10,000 building, and there's 6 or 7 more projects that are high-rise that are coming to West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, and
it's exciting.
I think that's the direction that we're starting to see people go.
It's so interesting. I had cocktails the other day at the 10,000 building, and it's right down where Santa Monica meets Wilshire. And everyone I met there actually had a home down the street that they had packed up, and then they moved into this building, and it was just this incredible community, and it was fun.
Yeah, it's a really great building. I mean, every time I show the project to a client that needs, you know, a place for a year while they're either building a house or whatever, a lot of them end up staying, and they stay there longer than they think they're going to stay, because there's something. I mean, listen, who doesn't want to live in a hotel? Especially
as
if
a
I can get
woman.
room service. Yeah. And it's happening. Like, cut 4 o'clock, you walk out there, and it's like everybody's having wine and cheese, and it's like, I mean, you can meet people there.
You can meet people, you connect, you're safe.
Yes.
I love that. And you don't have to maintain your own home. Everything's done for you.
Exactly.
Right.
There's a big benefit to that.
So I'm sure a lot of people want to know, because in 2008, obviously we had a big, you know, burst in the bubble here, but LA really didn't go down. I mean, compared to the rest of the world, there was parts of LA that didn't go down at all. And I'm sure as your position, you really want to have that case, because otherwise people wouldn't buy it this time because it's going up so much. Why do you think
it repeats itself? So we'll see it often, I think, in the coming year a little bit. I don't know if we'll see what happened in 2008 again. I don't have that, you know, crystal ball. But I've seen the luxury market soften a little bit, and I think we'll continue to see that.
But we have a lot of cash. There's a lot of cash buyers, correct?
Yeah, we do. Not a lot of inventory.
Right, I was thinking $1 million listing. They need to put it like multi-million.
Yeah,
like,
right.
$1 million
the
in LA.
$20 million listing.
I mean,
shack down on, you know.
But that's not. Developers aren't shying away. I mean, we've got, you know, projects that are going to come to the market that are going to be $500 million as soon as this year. So. These are banana numbers for LA. Right. I mean, no, 500 million is the most disclosed.
I'm manifesting right now. As seen in the next issue of LA Home, the $500 million listing.
Right.
$1 billion listing right
Sold
here.
by Tracy.
Tracy.
Oh, we're gonna make this happen.
Hopefully.
It's a nice paycheck.
Yeah.
Well, and we're loving the short deal. You're rocking it.
Oh, thank you.
It's fantastic.
Sometimes you just need a change.
Well, I think we all have a lot of attachment to our hair as women, and I think that it's like a real scary thing to cut the hair off, and it looks, I love it.
Thank you. It was actually fun. I change my hair all the time. I mean, I've had red hair, brown hair, blonde hair, short, bangs, you name it. I think it's kind of fun to recreate yourself, so.
For sure.
In recreating yourself, how would you describe yourself? Like in 3 words, Tracy Tudor Maltus is?
Oh God, it's too early for that. Who am I right now?
Dynamic,
I mean,
powerful. I mean, I could just.
I mean,
dictionary.
I think I am. I think I'm empowered. I think I'm funny, and I think I'm
unstoppable.
Yeah. I haven't had enough coffee.
This is why we have Justin here, okay? Which is great.
It's very difficult talking about yourself. Thanks for filling in the blanks.
Oh my gosh. So how can people find you? I know they can find you obviously on the show. Is there anywhere else? How can they find you and actually work with you?
Well, you know, obviously I'm on all social media platforms, and my information and how to contact me is there. I work for Douglas Elliman, and so if you go to Douglas Elliman's website, you can find me there. And it's pretty easy these days. Just Google.
Thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
What's going on? Are we out?
welcome to the Focus TV studios in West Hollywood. I'm Jessamine Moyer, host of the Focus TV network show, LA Unscripted, and co-host of America's first live streaming talk show, Good Morning La La Land. This is the Focus Magazine preview show in an exclusive sneak peek. Today, I have the privilege to announce the March 2018 A Difference in our local communities. On the cover, we have singer-songwriter and host of Chasing Glory podcast, Lillian Garcia. I had the extreme honor of both interviewing her and writing a feature for the magazine on Lillian. She's truly an influencer on so many levels. Joining her on the cover is my spiritual influencer and co-host of Good Morning La La Land, Dr. Erin Haskell. And with her is a true professor of influence, Amanda Russell. Also featured in this issue, we have the construction TV family and dynamic duo of lifestyle influence, Janet Gunn and Melissa Myers. Also in this issue, we feature Lauren Everts, the founder of the Skinny Confidential Hello Be Naked, who I interviewed for my show, LA Unscripted, and she is the founder of a great piece of functional jewelry from the Coley Collective. We also have the celebrity chef Serena Poon and her new product, Just Add Water, in a series of 4 mom influencers from our millennial mom herself, host Jenna Barnett. It's all influence, influence, influence in this issue of Focus Magazine. Get your copy today on newsstands or online, and be sure to watch our companion video features as well, because we are the only magazine in the country providing a robust video complement to our print features. I'm Jessamine Moyer, coming to you from the Focus TV studios in West Hollywood. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back live from Los Angeles. We're thrilled to have LALALAND. I can say the name, I swear. How are you doing? I love your beautiful jewels.
Thank you so much. I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
You are.
Good to be
It's
here.
all about reshape.
Yes.
What does that mean exactly?
You know, well, the whole idea how Reshape was started is, you know, I'm in my 40s, mid 40s, and I was feeling off, right? But not really bad enough to go to a doctor. And it was a conversation myself and my girlfriends were having about, you know, lack of sleep, low sex drive, lack of energy, poor digestion, hair loss. I mean, the list went on and on. And I am just a very inquisitive person by nature, and I refuse to kind of sit back and pass that off as age. And I was determined to really, you know, figure it out, seeking out the best doctors and scientists, researchers, motivators, biohackers, and really sort of hacking my health. And that's sort of when the whole journey began. And I really just wanted to empower every woman, that you don't have to just sit back and accept these things. You can really do something about it.
Tell us. I mean, oh my gosh, you kidding?
It's been about a 2-year journey just with myself personally and my own health. I was doing a live television show, and you know, when you're live, things have to really be connecting, because you know, I was seeing something in my brain, but it wasn't quite coming out my mouth. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I don't get this figured out, I'm gonna lose this job. So that's when, you know, was my moment when I started to see an naturopathic doctor and really started to understand what was going on with my body. And you know, I talked to all my girlfriends. I'm from the South, from Louisiana, and my girlfriends haven't heard anything about this. So it was just, I wanted to share all the information that I was learning.
It's incredible. It's definitely working. I always felt you were truly ageless, but I feel like you've even reversed aged, if that's possible, when you're ageless.
And you know what? Now I actually think it's possible.
Right?
With all the research and everything I've been learning, I think it's totally possible to reverse that.
Absolutely incredible.
Wow.
Just love it.
So tell us some of what you do. I mean, as a woman that I'm in my mid 40s now, and you know, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a change. You start seeing a change, and it's, you know, of course you eat better, you try and sleep, you do all those things. But tell us some secrets that you found.
Well, I think for me a big thing was hacking, like I was sharing with you earlier that morning routine. And you know, this is pulling from Tony Robbins and Robin Sharma, and you were talking about mindfulness and kind of like that voice. There's Michael Singer, who has the book Untitled Chapter. You know, just really doing so much research, so much reading, seeking out those experts. So I knew that I had to get my morning right. I mean, before I was sort of deflecting, right? You know, I'd wake up at 7, the kids were up, I had to get them all ready, and you know, I was sort of just, the day was attacking me. And it set me up for failure, I think, for the day. I wasn't getting things done. I felt like, you know, I wasn't fully fulfilled in my day. So Robin 5 a.m. club, although my husband went to his conference this year, he's like, now it's the 4 a.m. club. And I completely agree with it. So waking up at 5, and the first thing you do is sort of get your body moving, right? It's kind of like, ooh, meditating. It could be just praying, right? Just having that moment, that centered moment, being fully aware, you know, thinking about all the wonderful things you're grateful for, taking those breaths, centering yourself, and then also, you know, having 3 children, I wasn't reading. Like, I love, and that has made a big, big difference. And then the other thing for me has been hacking my sleep. You know, I wear a sleep tracker. This is the older version, but
That's a sleep tracker?
It's the new version is just like a wedding band. It's called Aura. It's a Finnish, for a company from Finland, and I track my sleep. So my goal is every morning to wake up with a sleep score of around 80 in the 80s, and I can sort of adjust my week because it really makes a this year, knock on wood, where's the wood? There's no wood here, where's the wood? So I haven't gotten sick once this year, and based on my sleep, I can also, it determines my activity, my recovery, so really just gathering that data to know how I should move forward in my day and in my week.
How much sleep do you require?
It is different. You know, some people, and also, you know, my friend Dr. Michael Bruce, who's a sleep doctor, he has a book called The Power of Now, I think, and it's all about knowing your chronotype. You know, so some people, they have wolves, they have lions, they have dolphins. I know it's all kind of crazy. I used to be a dolphin, but and you could change, and now I'm a bear, which is just like the majority of the people, so that's sort of a good thing. So time is a big thing before you go to bed. So, you know, downloading programs into my computer or even just trying to stay off the screen, I use blue blocker glasses. I look nuts. You know, with these red glasses.
Well,
during
I have
the day,
the sleep
I have
doctor
the yellow
glasses.
ones.
Yes.
I have these True Dark, these stickers that I put on all the little lights, you know, in my room. Just really setting myself up for success. Because I just feel like I was just at an event with Maria Shriver, and she's all about the Alzheimer's movement, right? And really understanding your brain. And they were talking about these things. I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what we're talking about on Reshape. This is so exciting. But then I saw all these women in the audience, and everybody was like, what?
All the, you know, and it's good for men and women, but especially women, you know, we start changing. Things change, and you're like, where? And you all over the internet research, and you don't know what exactly to listen to. So you embody it. And people always say, go to a mentor that you want to be. You want to be them. You want their life. You are inspired by them. So it's really wonderful to have you do this
Who
work.
do you consider to be like your mentor, your inspiration?
Well, there's somebody that I'm currently totally obsessed with. You know, I've jumped around from who I love, Dave Asprey. I love Robin Sharma. I do love Tony Robbins. I love Michael Singer. I mean, there's so many. Right? There's so many, right? It's really hard. But there is a woman, her name is Naomi Whittle. She just came out with a new book called Glow 15. And I feel like it really encompasses everything that I've been learning, kind of in. I met her like last year, so I'm really, really excited about that.
And Glow 15, is it sort of 15 steps to basically look glowed up? Like
yeah,
this?
It's basically, you know, it talks about autophagy, which is, it means self-eating, you know, like, so you do intermittent fasting, there's special teas, what is it called, the term, where some days you do protein, other days you don't.
I like that.
Timing of your sleep. She comes from the world of supplements, so specifically what supplements you should be using. I've also talked to a scientist actually this week where, you know, I really believe that you should know where you are individually, and you know, the only way we could do that before was to do all of these blood tests, gut tests, everything. So now there's something where it's basically a body scan, and you don't have to do you don't have to draw blood. And it can change daily, and it tells you exactly what your body needs on a daily or weekly basis.
How often are you scanning?
I haven't started yet, but I just learned of this technology.
Let's do it.
So through all the noise that's out there.
Well, stay tuned. We will be back with more in Allie Landry on Good Morning LaLaLand. Just take a little quick break. live from Los Angeles. We are having so much fun here on Thought Thursday with Miss Allie Landry. Thank you so much for being so real and so authentic and sharing some of your secrets with us.
Thank you.
Because like Erin mentioned earlier in the show, it's so important to have women that we can look to, that we can hold each other accountable to, and be inspired by. And you are a living example.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying.
And it's your energy, I think. You know, as soon as you walk through the door, you can feel all of the work that you've done. You can literally, it's palpable, you know, and I think that's not something you can fake, obviously.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. By the way.
Yeah, it's for me, it's the highest compliment because that's what I aim for. I want to be that.
Yeah. And I think also, girlfriends, I found that whether it be the newest like intermittent fasting or something we're doing with our body, our health, our sleep, for me, it always comes from girlfriends telling girlfriends.
Absolutely.
And I think you have that factor. You have that like, I want to listen to her, she's my girlfriend. Like you have just this thing, like you feel like you walk in, it's like the gorgeous girl next door.
Oh, thank you. Because that was really the goal. When I started learning this, I just thought I thought about all of my girlfriends in the South, like in Louisiana. We're so blessed to be living here in Los Angeles with all this technology and all this access to information and the latest and greatest. So for me to sort of navigate, they were always in the forefront of my mind, navigate this and then share that information with them. Yes.
So your platform, how is it? Are they videos? Are they blogs? What is? You don't know. Tell us a little bit about the actual platform.
There's videos. There is blogs. We actually just did a soft launch. It's great companies. I'm always so surprised when I approach them because I'm fans. I really only want to present information that I use and products that I absolutely not all of it works. So yeah, it's a little bit of everything. We're also pitching television show, live events. So the sky's the limit.
Right.
I mean, I'm just really excited.
So I'm curious to know what you think about things like coffee and alcohol. What do you think about that as far as, is it a little okay to have it as a balance within all of it, or do you have a viewpoint on that?
I love coffee. I love coffee. I have coffee every day, but you should see how I do my coffee. I mean, I was doing Coffee Mate creamer and
right? Do you remember back in the day? I mean, are you?
This is what I'm telling you, I had to hack the morning routine. So I still needed that creaminess in my coffee, and just doing a straight bulletproof coffee wasn't quite giving me that, even though I layered the surfer.
Oh, really?
And I get the unsweetened version. I do that. I add in some herbs. I add in collagen. I put my butter. I put my MCT oil. Like I put a lot of stuff in my coffee and I blend it. Yeah. It's like a whole thing.
Well, and they're so hot, he and his wife. You're like, I don't know what you guys are doing. Sign me up.
Yeah.
3 of them.
So, but the whole concept of that, I do like the idea of the caffeine in the morning. It gets me going. Sometimes I push it till later. Dr. Michael Bruce says, naturally when you wake up, especially if you're getting that blood flowing to your brain, your body can go for about an hour and a half and then have your coffee. So then it could kick in and get you through the next portion of your day. Alcohol, I drink a glass of wine. I mean, I'm not a big drinker, but I do think in moderation. And, so yeah.
What about collagen?
Oh, I do.
Everybody is about collagen. Hot topic.
I use collagen every single day, and I have for a few years now. And I've noticed a huge difference.
Really?
Wow. Huge difference in my skin. I see some of my girlfriends, it's like, when your skin gets sort of dull and lifeless, I feel like the collagen just plumped up my skin and my joints and
notes of all this that you're sharing, and I'm like, it's just impossible. I will either have to move into your house, or like be a pool boy or something like that, but just share your tips, or I go to Reshape Live.
Come, let's do a retreat.
There it is.
Because
it's just a lot. I'm like, it's amazing. It's amazing though. You've turned it into an.
I am going on the journey. I do not know it all, but I'm going to find out, right? And then I'm going to share it.
I think that's.
But for me, competing in Miss USA, like I said, I was in Louisiana, I was in college. Only the goal there was just to get a job, right? I got a job with a PR firm out of Texas for a seismic data. You have to go on to Miss USA, and I'm very competitive by nature. So for me, it was a mental game. All these girls were worried about their dress, and they worked out, and they were all this, and I was just like, if I can stay in the game, I can do this, right? I even played sick the night before the final competition, and I kind of envisioned, because I was young, being on that stage, live television, with a microphone stuck in front of you. So I was like, I have to like take a moment for myself. So I played sick, I remember. I visualized. And then in that moment when it was actually happening, I was ready to go. I was like, oh, well then maybe I could actually win this.
Wow.
thing. Yeah.
So the NBA,
so it's cool.
The NBA has taken notes from you. Clearly. I'm not sure I'm throwing any shade, but it's amazing. It's incredible though that you had the wherewithal and the awareness to know that you needed to sort of unplug, tap in, visualize, and is that the law of attraction stuff? Is that something that you were familiar with at a young age?
No.
No, just kind of came intuitively though.
Yeah, I guess no one was really having that conversation about.
You just had that intuition.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess looking back.
Yeah, it's pretty profound because I would do just the
I was never so concerned. I was an athlete. I was more concerned with other things, but also I want to be alive and vibrant and the best I can be for my husband and my kids and, for life.
Your prayer's been answered.
Right?
Yeah. It's already been answered.
And it is contagious. Thank you so much.
It's going to be a great day. Thank you so much for all of this.
Thank you so much.
You guys are fun.
I think it's a great platform also because like YouTube, all the young girls are doing their makeup and all this stuff and it's like a big, but no, I don't know if anyone's really hitting that kind of midlife woman that is going through all this stuff. I don't know if there's really a true role model there.
I think Gwyneth Paltrow is doing something
she is
similar.
Doing that, yeah.
Like you said, maybe I'm more the girl next door, like I don't pretend to know it all, but I will find out for you. It's just my journey right now.
Which, by the way, I feel really strongly is one of the success principles of the people, or to seek them out for advice. And
I mean that
makes you smart.
They have to. For these high-level CEOs of these major companies, it's sink or swim. I've been to so many different conferences, and some of the top CEOs from around the world, and this is what they're doing. They have to. They don't even have a choice.
Yeah.
So
exciting.
It is, and it's so interesting. So I work in my day job as convince people of that if they can just focus on what they uniquely do well and then outsource and delegate the rest, life is so much easier and you're able to succeed in ways that you didn't think you could.
Yeah.
But when you try to do it all, you do none of it well.
I'm trying to do it all. That's why I'm drinking too much coffee.
I know. I think we all struggle with that. You know, especially women. You feel like you have to do it all. Sometimes guilt, but you have to release that.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I have to prove it.
Yeah.
Like really watch me.
Yeah. or if you don't do something, you feel like you have an excuse for it, or you always have to have an explanation.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I don't have a good one, then I'm committed.
Right. So you just gotta embrace that. Yeah.
So what do you do with the 15? You do intermittent like every other day, or what do you do?
It's protein cycling. What I was talking about. So. I was doing intermittent fasting every day, but I was really messing up with my coffee because I was putting calories in there, and it was just like little things. Like I was using a sweetener. I was using the Mito Sweet from Bulletproof. I was using like a xylitol, which has 20, and for intermittent, you really have to stay below 50, right? Yeah. So I was like already failing, but I could not not have the coffee, right? So now I was like, okay, I could do it every other day. So in the morning, I just do like tea, water until 12. Depends what time I go to bed and what time I finish. Process and digest all the
How do you do that honestly socially? Because what are you like? Oh, today's the day I don't eat, so I can't go to the dinner.
It's hard. Or you adjust your days accordingly.
But don't you remember Fit for Life? Do you guys remember that book in the 80s? It was one of the biggest books. But that was their whole thing. Is like don't eat too many things all together at the same time. And they had something. I think that was really one of the trendiest books around that.
I do remember that.
Yeah, remember? And it's true, I feel like you can eat carbs, but I digest them better from eating them kind of alone versus putting them all together.
They had that whole thing about the Ferrari before the Mack truck and vice versa. I remember it's interesting. It feels like it requires, in the beginning it's going to be kind of tough because you probably forget.
Yeah.
Right? At least me, I'm always reaching for food. So it's like, oh, what day am I on? Oh, I don't know.
The thing is like when it started out like that, where I think sometimes I go, all out with the kids. I mean, so I want to have that time. But the funny thing is, everybody that I've been hearing speak and all the research that's been done, everybody's really saying the same thing. Everybody who's forward thinking, they're really saying this same thing. So when you're searching, you keep hearing that same thing over and over again. You're like, okay, and then it maybe took a year to get it. Like, oh, I really do need to cut sugar.
Finally, book 3005.
Right. So it's a process.
Yeah. But are you off sugar 100%?
No.
Okay, good. I'm like, oh.
But I'm trying. mean? Like at least not to, for all the great things I'm doing, like that intermittent fasting, not to shoot myself in the foot. For kids, I always had like a stack of books, but with kids, I don't have time.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's tough.
And we love Ali Landry and Reshape. Thank you so much for tuning in to Good Morning La La Land. We'll see you tomorrow for #Friday Feels.
I didn't even know. I was like, are we taping? Are we not taping? I'm just going to keep talking like we're taping.
That's all right.
Yeah, because I thought I did the round. Me too. And then the music kept going out.
It was fine. I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant for a show. I really do. It's market. Yeah. And I think on television, it's mostly older people watching television these days. So it's a perfect. I think it's a perfect tee up for a great show.
Do you pitch it to Ellen?
Yeah. She wants to do it, but she knows sometimes